All right, I'm gonna be back testing today, and hopefully we can find a trade of the day or something. Um, and yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna be. This probably won't be that long, but I'm just gonna get this, just get some back testing in, and get those late night free throws in. The stuff no one sees. Get in those late night, you know, getting those late night reps. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So anyway, yeah, this should be interesting. Honestly, first thing I want to look at. This is such an interesting day. I mean, we had this at 8:30. I looked at this and I was like, why didn't I take this? This is, well, I mean, obviously I wouldn't take this, but what I'm wondering is, well, maybe I would, but what I'm wondering is, but then I remembered this was way, way early in the morning. So, um, yeah, this was way before I was on. Well, I guess if I got on the charts right at 8:30, then, but anyway, let's just kind of clean up the charts here a little bit and look at the day as a whole. So, do we have a file for today? Yes, we do. Perfect. Okay, I want to start out by looking at this 1 hour gap because I think this 1 hour gap really was a key cornerstone of what defined the market today. This 1 hour gap and these low resistance highs, right? So let's just kind of clean up the chart here and I'll show you what I mean. So first of all, okay. Going into the market today, we had super, super nice low resistance liquidity highs with London. And hey, what up, Akash? How's it going? We're just reviewing the market here, figuring out what we can learn from today. So, I'm good. I'm good. So, gonna quickly recap here. So, uh, actually, let's just get rid of everything. Actually, so that way we can just go in with a clean slate. I can't speak. So, okay, what was I looking at? Well, we had a 1 hour gap here, right? This, once again, like I was saying, this was the keystone of today. You had to really understand, like, that this 1 hour gap was here. You also had to understand that this 1 hour gap was here. You had to understand that both of these 1 hour gaps were here. But in my opinion, this was the cornerstone of today, knowing this gap was here. At least that's my opinion. Other people might have had a different read on the market, and that's okay. How to journal and recap, except say I don't know what to do after journal. Uh, Dude, just look around. Like, it's like there's no rules. There's no you must do this, you must do that. Just look at what happened in price. Just observe. Mark out where would have been a good spot to enter. Why would I have entered here? And then learn from it. You just need to just look at the chart and look at the market and see what it does. And you're going to learn so much. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. And I'll show you guys what I mean by knowing this gap was here. How to learn from journal? Well, journaling, it's pretty straightforward. You just write down what happened, and if it's a win, why it was a good trade. If it's a loss, what went wrong, and then learn from what happened. I think journaling is a little more straightforward, but as far as backtesting goes, just look around. See what you make observations. The market's gonna teach you everything you need to know. So just go look around. Knowing this 1 hour gap was here was key. So at this point, let's drop down to a 5 minute, right? We ended up getting, I think, multiple SMTs. We got SMT with, yeah, we got SMT, for sure SMT with YM it looks like. And then we had another, we had this one made a lower low, right? Or a higher low. Oh wow, it made a higher low. So yeah, you can see there's stacked SMTs here, which gave me a ton of conviction, right? That the market was ready to reverse because it occurred at the bottom of this 1 hour gap. So this is all going on in my mind during the live market, right? Once again, and we were below all the true opens. So once again, uh, a bullish SMT with YM here, and a bullish SMT with YM here. There might have been one with ES too, but there was for sure SMT with YM. Should we check ES? Oh yeah. Yeah, we definitely had SMT with ES there. And we did not take midnight, but something that I observed and thought when NQ didn't take midnight is, well, technically the S&P took midnight. And that honestly gave me the conviction to say, okay, I think we should be fine to reverse. So once again, this 1 hour gap is key here. And just understanding that this 1 hour gap, we were very possibly likely to sweep liquidity and then reverse. Did you get your SP report fixed? No, I have not got it fixed. I have to pay for it. Are you a student or working? Yeah, I work during the day. So once again, knowing this 1 hour gap was here was pretty important. And then also just knowing that we have these low resistance highs here with London high. So, okay. So back to full screen here. Let's screenshot this. Once again, knowing this 1 hour gap here was key. And I'll explain why in just a second. Oh, we got CPI today? You mean, or yeah, when for the next New York session? Dang. It's good to know. Thank you. Well, we'll need to we'll know that it's coming, I guess. Okay. Was key too. So then next New York session, dang, yeah, it's coming, bro. But it's good to know. It's good to know. So why was knowing this 1 hour gap key? Because I can see the opposing liquidity pool pretty clearly, right? Low resistance liquidity up here, right? I can tell that if this 1 hour gap is going to get respected, that we're going to probably run up to these low resistance highs, right? Just very logical draw on liquidity here. You can see how the market just sucked up into it like a magnet, right? It literally just sucked up into it off of this 1 hour gap. It was so violent. And one thing I said is you could just take this outside bar. You guys could go back on the stream and watch it, but I said you could just go ahead and take this outside bar right here, and you can go rewind the stream. I said it. I did not take that because I wanted to align time and price a little better. But you can clearly have taken that here. And where's the outside bar, you might be wondering? Well, it is Let me mark it out. First, let me mark out the sweep here. So, oh my gosh. So yeah, see this right here, this candle, it takes the high and the low of this candle right here. You can see that is right there. There's the low of the prior candle. There's the high of the prior candle. What is SP report? What? That was my dad, and he FA and Javier helped me set up this this software that can help me identify where the largest market orders are, and basically it's like professional order flow software. So it's he means SB Pro X. He means this SB Pro X8. And my subscription, or not, my free trial expired, so I have to pay for it. But it's really, really nice because I can basically see where the biggest people enter the market, which is super helpful because you can identify if you know where the biggest people are entering the market. Yeah, it's super nice. If you can identify where the biggest people are entering the market, you can basically figure out where's their absorption of orders and where either A, that person's dumb money and they're being absorbed, and then we want to run them towards an opposing liquidity pool, or B, they're displacing price towards where it wants to go. So it's just point is it's helpful. It's helpful is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this 5-minute outside bar, super nice. You can see there's basically no drawdown on this 5-minute outside bar. You can go watch my live stream, and I did call this out. I mean, the cool thing about this 5-minute outside bar is it really is aligned with time and price, right? Because we have, I think this was London lows over here. We had an external sweep of London lows. I really wanted to take this. I was seriously considering it. Can I make a video about that? Or you want me to make a video about that? Yeah. I have a video planned where I'm going to make a video about it. I already kind of filmed it, but I might refilm it because I don't know if I like it. But yes, 100%. I'm going to make a video about it. And it's very important, actually. So, but yeah, basically, knowing where if there were more market orders being sold or bought is really helpful because it allows you to figure out, okay, are market orders is smart money absorbing market orders, or is smart money displacing price towards where it wants to go? And yeah, I'd make a video on it. It might not make sense right now, but if I made a video on it, I'd make it make sense. So yeah, external sweep of London lows, then an internal sweep with stacked SMTs. I mean, guys, this was just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I said on stream that this might play out, and it did. I could have taken it, but I think the big reason I didn't take it was because you can see I'd have to enter with 0.7, meaning I'd have to have a stop loss like this, and I didn't want to take it with a stop loss like that. So that's honestly the main reason I didn't take it. But this was super nice. And then yeah, we can project out. Honestly, let's project out the outside bar. Look at that. Perfectly 4 projections. You make that up? No. It's perfect, right? This is perfect. Look at how perfect this outside bar is, right? Perfectly at 4 projections. That is beautiful. What a beautiful. This is trade of the day. And I would consider this flow state aligning, basically aligning 1 hour gap with a 5 minute outside bar. So I would consider this flow state, which is just align a higher time frame key level with a lower time frame entry. That's what it is. Look at how textbook this is. I mean, guys, this was awesome, right? 1 hour gap, 5 minute outside bar. We run these low resistance highs. And you could scale out this whole way. We even had this occur during the Hydra macro, which is just even more beautiful, right? I'll mark that out as well. Meaning it was, what's it called? Any 20 to 40 of any hour is a Hydra macro. All right, let's go ahead and screenshot this. This honestly was definitely trade of the day. Let's mark out this was a 5 minute outside bar. Screenshot. And my guess is we had absorption at that low. But obviously without SB Pro X, I can't really tell. Oh yeah, we were gonna do. Hold on, we're gonna add the Hydra. Let's save it first, real quick. Let's save it, and then I'll add the Hydra macro. So 1020. This was 1020, right? Yeah. So we get the close right at the 1020. 1020 flow state. 1 hour aligned with the 5 minute outside bar. And then we'll show how this was during the macro, right? So 1020. Hydra's macro to 1040. Look at how the most of the move occurred during this 1020 to 1040 period. Isn't that so cool? Most of the move, the entire move occurred during that. So there's your Hydra macro. Bang. Where is it? H. There we go. Bang. More volume. Yeah, there was a lot of volume. So I think I'll make this likely be trade of the day. And obviously I tape read it live. Well, essentially tape read it. I didn't keep it on the chart the whole time, but I said this is a trade that's probably going to play out. So basically, I'd count it as I tape read it because I said that it was probably likely going to play out. I just didn't keep it on the chart the whole time. But I did note that trade live. Flow state, 1 hour, 5 minute, number 2. And then we could also just, let's say you don't even really know that there is a higher time frame gap there. Okay, that's fine. Genuinely, just taking this as the outside bar is completely fine too, right? If you didn't even know there was a gap here, you just saw, oh wow, S&T's outside bar in the macro, like it's kind of cool because you don't need every little piece of the picture to still understand what's going on, which is why. It's just which is why it's so nice, right? Like it's like you can still drive if the window is kind of foggy, like without, even if I didn't know this 1 hour gap was here, I can still see, oh wow, we have stacked SMTs, external and internal liquidity sweeps, and a 5 minute outside bar with low resistance highs. Like this is probably gonna reverse. 1020 outside bar on the 5 minute. And then once again, if you wanted to not take that entry, you could have taken the change in state. I said this as well. I said, this is also valid where where maybe you don't want to take the outside bar, maybe you take this change instead of delivery. And I said that as well. And you can see that that would have been just a little bit of a later entry, but still completely valid. And the same kind of thing plays out. So we'll mark this out as a flow state as well. And then we'll go in the lower time frame. See, there might have been a lower time frame inversion for value gap that I probably could have taken. I just didn't see. So I want to go look and see if there was one. Because we had all the pieces of the puzzle here at this point. We just didn't get the entry down here when we should have. Because we knew the market was drawing up here. My entry was late. But I could have... I ended up being a 2.5R. It could have been like a 5R. Had I found the entry down here. So we should go look and see where that was. Because I was aware that we were going to reverse here. So 10:25 flow state, 1 hour aligned with the 5 minute. Okay. Save that. What is your age, bro? I'm going to 21 by tomorrow. Nice, bro. I'm 23. I'll be 24 in June. So yeah, let's go down lower time frame. It might have been a lower time frame outside bar as well, if I had to guess. It's very possible. I think, or it was a 1 minute inversion. Yeah, so you can see it was an inversion for value gap. So this, if you like this, not bad, honestly. Right? We inverse this. Maybe put your stop loss below the gap. Run this up to London. Same idea, but now you got a low time frame entry, right? So that's one way you could take this. I kind of like that. Seems pretty textbook, right? So there's your 1 minute inversion. The only reason I don't love it is just it's a random 1 minute inversion. I like this trade a lot because this trade was the first presented for value gap getting inversed. This is just a random 1 minute inversion. It's not the same, right? The first presented for value gap getting inversed, that's the trade I took. It's going to hold a lot more weight than this random 1 minute. And the other issue is I'd probably, okay, actually no, this would actually end up being fine. I'd go break even by the time we hit this external gap, and you can see that we actually are completely fine. So break even by the time you hit this external gap, and you can see that we don't get stopped at break even at all, which is really nice. And obviously you would scale out and stuff. One minute inversion. Yeah, I like that one. And then once again, you could go break even here too. And once again, that also would be fine. You would not have gotten break evened out. And yeah, break even at the rejection block or the midpoint of the rejection block would honestly be a little too soon with the fact that we just have this external gap here. At least that's what I would think. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are. So essentially, this was accumulation, manipulation, distribution. You can see we had high time frame LRLR, low time frame LRLR, which together sponsor this entire move higher. That's basically what happened. So 10:21. Uh-oh, it's loading my image. Come on, what's going on? Look at this. What is going on? Hello? Come on. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but that clearly did not work. Let's see if it works now. There we go. That's much better. Okay. 10:21 inversion for value gap on the 1 minute. Go ahead and save that. I do kind of want to see if there was like there might have been like a new day opening gap here. I think there was. It was right here. Oh, and guys, remember I said that this outside bar would also probably be valid, and you can see it was. So we'll mark out all of those. There's quite a few different low time frame entries that I missed. Well, not necessarily I missed, but I didn't take, and I could have taken. So we're just gonna mark them out real quick. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say is yeah, like I was saying, high time frame LRLR run, and then here is low time frame LRLR. Not even necessarily like medium time frame LRLR. So you can see that both of these together sponsor this entire move from here to here. So there's the low time frame LRLR. There's the high time frame LRLR, right? And you see how the market just cuts through all of it. Low resistance liquidity. That's what low resistance liquidity is. So low time frame. High time frame LRLR, low time frame LRLR. Together, they sponsor a massive move. Do you guys see how this played out the way that it did? Like, the fact that the low resistance liquidity here and the low resistance liquidity here were like staged together is what allowed it to just be so continuous and fluid, right? Honestly, that deserves a video at some point. That definitely deserves a video at some point. Some of the biggest moves to capture in the market will be capitalizing on a low time frame LRLR run that becomes a high time frame LRLR run, right? Let's write that down and make a video on it. Some of the biggest moves to capture in the market will be capitalizing on a low time frame LRLR run that becomes a high time frame LRLR run. Hopefully that makes sense. So, yeah, the next thing I wanted to say is this 2-minute outside bar on the right-hand side of the curve. I noticed it. I noticed it live. I'm proud of myself for noticing it live. I wasn't so sure because it closed within this gap, and you can see it did kind of hesitate because of that. But eventually, the draws on liquidity were just too strong, and we were able to break through. And then when we inverse this gap, you can see that's finally when we really got going, which makes a lot of sense. So once again, I don't think I would take this outside bar, but I'm going to take note of it because I think that it is, you know, if you're looking for decent RR, it's not bad because with conviction when we have a low time frame and high time frame LRR stacked up against each other, we're probably you're probably gonna get a pretty high RR trade if this gap type thing did break. So once again, outside bar because low got taken here. Boom. Here, let's make a note of it. Risky because closes in a gap, but if it works, it has very nice R due to low time frame LRR runs becoming high time frame LRR. Hopefully that makes sense. But definitely nice RR here. Risky, but if you're a RR trader, you like these kind of high RR plays, it might be worth it for you. It just kind of depends. So, bang. So there you go. 10.26 outside bar on the 2 minute. Not bad. A little risky, but not bad. Saving that. Hopefully that made sense why I say it's a little risky, because you do close into this gap. And I'm very curious if there was a even lower time frame entry. Like, what's possible is, let's actually see if there's a new day opening gap or new week opening gap. And I know I've only been looking at this one area of price action. I should look at other things. But if I have time, I'll do that. Yeah, so I was looking at this event horizon. I wanted to come push into it. That would have been a really nice trade if it had done that. It did not, but it could have been. Could have been really nice. No first presented for value gap used. Market filled the RTH gap. This is not right. This isn't marked out right. It actually filled this, I think. So I don't know if there was a what's it called? A new day opening gap or anything like that. I mean, obviously there's the one from today, but that one was above. That one was up here. So I guess there probably was not a new day opening gap, but let's still see, just because we do have SMTs here. Let's see if this outside or this pin bar at 10-16, 10-17 ish. Let's see if it was a precision swing point. Not with ES. Let's check YM. If not, we'll still mark it out as a pin bar trade, because the fact that we have the SMTs, you could have had conviction. Okay, so there's not really there's not a precision swing point, but that's okay. It might have been over here, but Anyway, this is a very risky trade, but I'll still mark it out. Not really realistic, but pin bar type thing. I mean, if you had some kind of other details like an absorption of a whale here, maybe you could try it. I wouldn't, but I'm just gonna mark it out. Not enough other confidences, but yeah, still. All right. 10-17 pin bar on the 1 minute. Once again, not a realistic trade. I wanted to note it. We could take a look at during here. I didn't really love a ton, but this I actually did like. The first one for value, I offered a short here. I did kind of already mark it out, but let's mark it out again. I don't think I saved it. So let's mark it out again. It was pretty nice, honestly. Where first one for value gap was here to here. And then we obviously just rejected it. And I was like, we swept out equal highs and we're rejecting the first one for value gap. That looks bearish, right? Doesn't take rocket science to really understand this. And it just looked like AMD as well. I mean, we could even measure out. Let's say we're just looking at the 5 second. I'm going to ignore... there's SMT here, huh? There's SMT with YM. So that makes it even better. There's SMT with YM with these equal highs. That's awesome. Okay. So, SMT with YM with these equal highs. Oh, we keep forgetting to check true opens too. Right? So, let's check true opens. There are lots of reasons I liked this. We were above 7:30. We were above midnight. Right, so 7:30. We were above. Bearish SMT with YM. A sweep of the equal highs. Or at least relatively equal highs. And interestingly, I bet you if we did a range projection, this would probably be the high. But we'll have to check in just a second. So there's 7:30. This whole thing is accumulation, right? Clearly. And once again, I did call this one live too. I observed it. I tape read it, and I said, look at that. See, this is what I was trying to explain. Perfect range projection, right? So we perfectly went to half a standard deviation of the accumulation range perfectly, right? And then we could target 1 and then 2 projections. Here's 1. And then here's 2. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little bit of piece of perfection right there. So, nice range projections there. We can go and we can, let's get rid of this 1 hour gap. Let's get rid of the S&Ts. Let's get rid of this. We'll just make a little note here saying we were above midnight as well. I'm not going to get into true week open and true day, or yeah. Right. So above midnight as well. Might have been a Phoenix on the 15-second. Okay, let's go to the next true open. Should be 9:22:30. Or above that as well. See that? Then we can go down to an even lower time frame. Find the 22-minute true open. $950.37.5. Bang, right? So within this candle here, actually let's just not include midnight here. So accumulation, this is manipulation, rejection of the first minute for value gap, bearish S&T. Then we get a change of state off of this. We actually utilize the wick of the change in state right there perfectly. Boom. Going into the macro. Wow. It's a little piece of perfection, isn't it? And then it's almost like we even have equal highs here as well. How perfect can these markets get, bro? It's insane. Right? A little inducement into the change in state. Bang! It's like, imagine if I was football commentating this. Should do that sometime. And they think we're gonna go higher. Bang! Inducement. Right, so this is my first strike model. then we can project this out, since that was the order block. Here's 4 projections. It's not very accurate. Probably because it's just a pretty large wick, so people probably put their stop loss like that. So, yep, this whole thing is just giant first strike. I called it live, too. And then, after we form the true open, bang. You know what? This entry occurred right at the start of the macro. I should have known. Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool, honestly. That is really cool. So yeah, look at this. 950 to 1010 macro. Whoop, there's our entry. Just so happens to occur right at the start of the macro, and I'm going to mark out the entry. I'm going to mark out the macro from the entry to the drawn liquidity, which is 7 projections. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nine forty-five. First strike. 1 minute. Second. And you could definitely consider this a 2022 model. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, we just liquidity swept out the high, broke structure. And then fair value out. Yeah, kind of, but anyway. Yeah, okay, let's see if there's any other trades that stand out at all. Another outside bar there. I don't think I would take that, but noteworthy, right? We have an outside bar that takes liquidity of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3 candles, and then takes the low and the high of all 3, and then closes higher. And then we go higher. I don't know if that's worth even marking out, but I'm taking a mental note of it. There's also an outside bar here. Wait, I missed that one. Wait, hold up. Let's rewind just a second. I missed the outside bar all the way at the lows. Wait, that's a really good entry. right? That's how one way you could have gotten in all the way at the lows here is this 30-second outside bar, right? Yeah, this is actually really, really nice. Wow. We had two outside bars too. It was like outside bar back to back. Outside barception. It was an outside bar off an outside bar. And it came with this liquidity sweep, which was already high probability because we already swept out the external lows, which weren't even external lows. These were external lows. So we had like 3 liquidity sweeps in one. That's crazy. And then yeah, we go higher there clearly at that point. That is a W right there. Dang. I think I would have taken this if I'd seen it at the moment it happened. I think I would. I don't know though. The problem is you're taking it into an external gap, so maybe it's not the best. It's obviously a little risky, but take this up to this. Dude, this could have been, if you held this to London, this could have been a very realistic 14.5 R. I'm being so serious. I don't think this is unrealistic at all. Especially if you go break even once we inverse this gap. I don't think this is that unrealistic at all. I mean, it's a high time from LRLR run turned to low time frame, right? It's not rocket science. I don't think this is that unrealistic, honestly. And then run this all the way up to London. There you go. And go break even there, and obviously I'd scale out. It's pretty clean. $10, $16, $30. $10, $16, $30 outside bar on the 30-second. Yeah, there's another one there. An outside bar to the downside here. So many outside bars. Alright, I think I'm going to be done. It's been a chill stream. Look at this outside bar here. What a beautiful outside bar. Bang. 2-minute outside bar. That might have been at London Open or something. Alright, guys. I'm going to